Your softball program, we talk over the years. You've shared some of your rings with us. You've shared some of your championship trophies with us. Take us into some of the memories there, the UCLA game. Take us into some of those memories there. I know there's a whole lot when you look at the better part of 20 years, but take us into a fond memory you want to share with everybody at home.
Hey, the greatest thing is, we talk about, the UCLA moments and we talk about, the regionals and SWAC championships. But, one thing that I got to mention, and I just got to say this because I actually said it the other night, Valley softball has been great. Don't get me wrong, but I got to mention Southern University because I don't think that we would have been great as we were without Southern University. Coach Nancy Marshall, Coach Early, man, you talk about some epic battles on the field. So those battles with Southern University back in 2003, 2004, 2005, those what made Mississippi Valley State University softball team as great as it was back then. Because without Southern, because those games were like watching a College World Series game. You talking about games are going to be won at low scoring, great athletes from all over the country. But I always got to make sure that I mention that because when I go back and look at those games came down to sometimes one decision or came down to a player making a play. And those games were made a difference back then. We had some great matchups. I was actually talking to Coach Early the other day on the phone, and a lot of times we talk to players, but they don't realize, they look at the wins and the losses against Southern, but when you look at the Mississippi Valley and Southern University, and you look at what those two programs did back then for softball and the SWAC, man, it was awesome. And you're looking at those are the things that I see the most. So that epic battle in 2004 to me, was the one that put Mississippi Valley State University on the map because when we got to UCLA to go out there and compete, we was ready to go. And it wasn't about just Mississippi Valley. It was about the SWAC. It was about Southern because that's who made us. That's who put us where we were at that point in time that day to be able to go out there and compete and win games out there at the national level.